G'day. Welcome to the $100,000 to $1 million challenge. First off, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Please note that I am not a financial advisor and I am not offering financial advice. I am simply sharing my own trades in the market for educational purposes. With all of that out of the way, I'd like to say thank you for coming along on my trading journey. I hope that you're able to find some value as I share all of my trades with you. To begin with, this spreadsheet is linked in the description below. The first FAQ, am I a financial advisor? I'm not, as I just discussed previously. The second question, why is this challenge 100,000 to 1 million? Why not 10,000 to a million? Or why not some other numbers? So I've written here that I wanted a realistic goal, not 10,000 to 1 million, because that's 100x. Now, you can have people out there who are saying, hey, you can pick up a good alt for that 100x your money. In my experience, it's pretty difficult to kind of put all your eggs in one basket and find the right altcoin and hold it and sell it at exactly the right time. For me, something like 100,000 to 1 million is much more realistic. But even saying that, it's still a very, very challenging goal. Additionally, these numbers are psychologically important. 100,000, a million, there's some nice round numbers. The last thing I've written here is that by using 100,000 rather than using a smaller amount, it means that when the opportunity comes up to participate in good LPs, if the gas fees are really high, it means that that will eat up less of the overall profit because I have a larger LP position. Similarly, if I get into launch pads later on down the line or at some point, then it means that I can get into a higher launch pad tier. Generally, the higher the tier, you get a better deal than lower tiers. So just a few reasons as to why the challenge numbers are what they are. On this second tab in the spreadsheet, I've got all of the trades that I've done so far in the challenge. Now, I'll update this tab before every video. So far, I've bought Litecoin. This was on the 30th of December last year for $66.45. Picked up some Ethereum on the 4th of January at $12.37.25. And more recently, picked up some UFO, 0.00000124. That was on the 9th of January. Let's go look at the charts. Here's a Litecoin weekly chart. Now, I'm using Bitfinex. I know people might be thinking, hey, why aren't you using Binance or something else? Well, for some of these old coins, Bitfinex has the most trade history, and I find it important to be able to see as much of historical price action as possible. Also, people might be saying, why are you looking at Litecoin? It's this dinosaur boomer coin. For me, after every bear market, which we've had this huge rundown from 413 down to just over $40, it's always going to be, in my opinion, Litecoin that leads out from the bear market and the beginning into the bull market. So that's why I'm always going to look at the Litecoin chart first. Now, my plan, and I'm either a long-term swing trader or a position trader. This yellow line for me, this is the middle of this year. This is where I'm expecting Litecoin to put in its high for the year. I'm not expecting anything crazy, nothing like an all-time high, that's for sure. But whatever the high is for the year, I'm expecting it to come in around about here. Now, no guarantees, of course. This is just my central case. There's no reason that Litecoin from here just can't dump all the way back to $20 and kind of does nothing for the rest of its existence. But in terms of my trading plan, this is my central case. Now, there's a lot of resistance, of course. You can see this is the weekly 200 SMA, and look at that. It's right on that round number of $100. So there's going to be a lot of resistance there at $100, no doubt about it. I'll go into the daily chart. Okay, so we've got this big runoff, this big decrease in price on Litecoin, puts in the low here, just over $40, and then put in a really nice range. It would have been really nice to get in this nice range here that was put in over about 7 to 8 months. Here it broke out, Would have been nice to get on this retest. Quite difficult to rehold though after it puts in such a big red candle here. Broke out again for like, you know, a really nice breakout, a good range. Would have been really nice to get in here on this retest. Where I did get in was on the 30th for 66.45, so I was pretty happy with that, because since that day it's just been up, up, up. Now of course, like anyone, I would have liked to have gotten more at that price, but I didn't have, I mean, you know, hindsight's beautiful, right, when you look at this kind of chart. But I'm not the kind of person who's going to go and chase the chart. There will be times where I raise market orders, but this isn't one of those times. So at this point in time, I'm patiently waiting. I've got a limit order here at $70.81. If price does retrace here, I'm going to be happy to pick it up. If it doesn't, then I have to reevaluate and kind of see what price does. But certainly, I'm not going to go up and buy it here. You can see today it really almost kind of blew off 88.495. That was kind of, I think, going to the CPI. So that's kind of the plan so far on Litecoin. Take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum put in, almost got up to 5,000. 12 months, if not more, of down, down, down. Put in this low here of 881. Now, put in a range for quite a while here, and then the announcement was made that ETH merge was going ahead. The planned date was the middle of September. I remember that tweet coming out, and I sat on that for a couple of days, and then at that point in time, inflation was, you know, was not good. Rates were consistently going up. The macro was not great. But after 2 days, I kind of said to myself, this is one of the biggest things that's going to happen to ETH, going from proof of work to proof of stake. It's going to be classic buy the rumor, sell the news. So I was stalking this, trying to get in with a nice entry. I'm always going to try and fight for my entries. And then this candle happened, and it really just took off from there, and I couldn't get in. And sometimes that's just the way it's going to go for me. I'm just going to have to let it go. What I did do though is I drew, if I can just zoom out a little bit here, I did draw this red line at this point on, this is about 6 months ago. I drew this red line for what I thought ETH price would do. Going to this merge, I thought it would be classic buy the rumor and then sell the news. Then going to the middle of this year, I thought again, another big move up, and then kind of retrace, because you got to tidy up. Once you make a big move like this, you'd have to do some tidying up after. Now, of course, what happened is it didn't quite get as high as I thought it would get, and it sold off a lot earlier than I thought it would sell off. But at least the shape is still pretty similar, so I'm not too displeased with my red line here. Now, after ETH merge, of course, or you know, before ETH merge, we've got selling the news, and there's a lot of people out there saying, hey, ETH 500, you know, it's going to happen. ETH 700, I'm going to buy it all at $700. My central case at this stage is that I can't see ETH hitting triple digits ever again. It's a big call, but that's just kind of my central case, because these lows, it just didn't get there. There's a lot of people who are going to be, you know, just around $1,000, but no, they all got front run about 1,100, and it's taking off again now. And this is some really nice bottoming structure that it's put in here. Now, I was thankfully able to pick some up at 12, something like 12.37, so I was pretty happy with that. Since then though, I think I got in on this candle here. Since then though, it's really taken off again on the daily, and I'm trying to accumulate more because I'm a little bit under deployed at this point in time. So I do have an order working here at 12.81. Now I'm hoping that it retraces to 12.81. I'm going to be patient. There's no guarantees, of course. If it keeps moving up, I'm just going to have to reevaluate price action and see what's happening. I see quite a lot of resistance here at 14, about 14.25. So yeah, if it puts in a massive green candle to break through this, that'll be a bit different. I have to think about buying the retest perhaps. But for now, just patiently waiting with my order, hoping to get filled. Now I did redraw my red line again. This is about 6 weeks ago, because macro was quite terrible. I kind of thought, look, let's retest this bottom properly, and then go into my yellow line and then sell off again. At this point in time, it's kind of somewhere in the middle. We'll see what happens. Now, the only caveat to all of this is this yellow rectangle here. This is the Shanghai upgrade, where people who staked on the beacon chain for ETH 2.0 are finally able to unstake. My understanding of it is that there'll be a queue system, so if too many people unstake all at once, they'll go in a queue, and it could potentially take weeks for people to unstake. Don't quote me on this, but this is just my understanding of it at this point in time. Typically with these, when you have an unlock in crypto, it's going to cause price to go down. It's going to cause people to dump, because there will be some people who locked up, and for whatever reason, they're going to be desperate for money. As soon as they can unstake, they'll do it, they'll sell. I don't think it's going to be that many people, just because the average price that people locked up their ETH is a lot higher than the current price. So this is not the best price to be selling if you locked up a lot higher. I think that's one kind of key reason. Now, the other thing about this is that it could, I'm not sure, like I'm still picking up ETH, I'm trying to, but this could subdue price as people kind of wait to see what happens here. And I think, interestingly, if you have people who want to stake their ETH, but they couldn't withdraw it, they may have just been waiting. Once this happens and withdrawals are live, and people see that they can withdraw, that might incentivize people to stake, because they know that they can then confidently withdraw. So if more people stake, that actually locks up the ETH, and that would put some upward pressure on the price. So it's certainly interesting and something to watch out for. Just look at a couple of other things. Uniswap. Okay, back in the day, I did get some Uniswap airdrops in me, which was very nice. Then it went on a massive run to 45 and came all the way down here to $3.33. Now at this point in time, I've got a working order at $5.05 if we jump into the daily. Okay, so basically I'm saying if you want to retest here, I'm happy to pick some up. If we are to retest these June lows at 385, I'll also pick some more up, and at that point I'll be all in for my uni allocation. Now, nothing to say that it can't go lower, that's for sure, but that's kind of the risk that I'm willing to take. Now, the reason why I like uni, even though, it's kind of like DeFi 1.0, it's a bit of a dinosaur coin now, is because to end the last cycle, we had all this CFI blowing up. Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, FTX. This goes on and on and on. You got, Tom Brady out there. Tell you what, as soon as I started to see those Matt Damon ads, jeez, it was time to get out then. But anyway, so I think DEXs, without a doubt, people are going to be keen to use DEXs. Now, I think once Uniswap can kind of really roll out some better features, like, for example, limit orders, some advanced order types, maybe just nicer usability, I think it's really a proven, it's just really a proven DEX, and it's something that I want to pick up, that's for sure. Of course, there are other DEXs out there, there's plenty to choose from, but as a market leader, I think it's a good one to pick up. Now, not saying I think it's going to go to all-time highs or anything like that, but I think that it's certainly one of the coins that has a good background to it, has a good enough narrative where it can make a good run into the middle of the year. Last one I'll look at is UFO, which I did pick up. I got lucky. Now, I'll be honest. I did actually pick this up previously for a pretty good price because of LEO trades, and I did get out at a decent price, and now I'm trying to get back in. Not that I got a lot from LEO trades the last cycle, but credit where credit is due. UFO was because he kept banging on about it, and I said, okay, fine, I'll pick some up. And so what I've done is I got really lucky here. I put an order in on this day at 124, this order here, and look at this, I bottom ticked it. I got my complete fill and at the bottom of this candle, so pretty lucky. So I've been filled on that, and I'm just going to hold it for now. Yeah, it could go down, and if it goes down, I'll probably just hold on to it, to be honest, unless if it does something really atrocious. But I think it's a good little coin, and I'm just going to be holding that one for a little bit. Back to this spreadsheet, just to finish off. Now, this final tab is called the Playbook, and so for this first period, from December to January, I've got open orders on ETH and Litecoin. Blue means that there's an open order, green means that I've already bought it. So I have bought some as well, but I've also got these open orders working. Now, my notes for December and January were only purchase large caps, ETH and Litecoin. You'll notice no Bitcoin. You might think, hey, what are you doing? Bitcoin, it's amazing. It was the first crypto. You got to buy some. I think that for me personally, I think that the returns on Bitcoin will diminish as time goes on. It's been through quite a few cycles already. ETH hasn't been through as many. I think that the fundamentals of ETH are really impressive, and that's just shaped my opinion that I want to own Ethereum, and I'm actually going to be happy to own no Bitcoin this time around in this cycle. I've also written here, of course, we talked about Litecoin leading out of the bear, ETH following, any other good narrative assets following. I've written here, I'll take a few altcoin shorts if good setups present. It's going to be a bit difficult, it's a bit risky to be honest at this point in time, but I'll leave that point there. This point talks about the Shanghai upgrade, which we already had to talk about. I've written here that if ETH breaks its lows at 881, then I'll use stablecoins to send stink bids. And so I'm trying to keep some stablecoins on the side in case if these lows do break. If they do, then yeah, I'll be in there buying 700. I'm not sure the exact numbers because it's not my central case, but if that happens, then yes, I'll definitely have some orders working. I've written here that if somehow, I don't know how, but if somehow ETH got down to $308, I'd have to call up the bank and say, hey, can I borrow some money? I'll pay back really quick, because I think that'd be an incredible buy at 308 if that were to happen. Now, moving along over here, I've written that from January to June, I've got all of these different types of things that I want to pick up. Blue means that I've got working orders. I've shared Uniswap before. These other ones I'm not sharing just yet. I do have a traders group where we discuss things we're going to buy, things we're going to sell, narratives that are occurring in the market, and so they're well aware of what's listed here, but it's not something I'm comfortable sharing publicly at this point in time. I've got some notes here. I've written that okay, this stablecoin percentage I've written here will be 18 to 42%, and that's because, for example, UNI, if I can't get in, I'll just let it go. I'll focus on trying to pick up some other things. So this would it would mean that I would have more stablecoins on the sideline. If new narratives come up, if there's new good things to buy, I'd add them to these lists, and I'd be looking to get a good price. Over here, these are for small proportions of my portfolio. So UFO was 1%, so I picked up $1,000 worth of UFO. Now, this list really can expand or contract based on what's happening in the market. I've written here some key narratives this cycle are likely to include AI, DEXs, decentralized perps. We've already seen the AI thing. AI coins have a really big run to start the year. And of course, there's going to be repeating narratives this cycle from last cycle. Things such as gaming, layer 1s, layer 2s, layer 0s, and cross-chain. Metaverse NFTs, I'll add to this list as I think of more things. And as I showed that yellow line on my charts, 25th of June, somewhere around the middle of the year, I'm actually going to be looking to sell everything. This is my central case. It could change, of course, as time goes on, depending on what happens, but at this point in time, as a position trader, this is how I'm looking to trade this market. Last tab is a link to this is also in the description. Just my current portfolio. Started with 100,000. It's currently at 106, 376. I mean, someone who's been if you're someone who's been in crypto for a while, you know that it's not a big deal. The number's going to swing up. It's going to be swing down. Crypto is pretty volatile. I'm comfortable if this goes below 100,000. If it goes to 80,000, it won't panic me. I fought hard for my entries, and you do have to be able to hold through some pain sometimes in crypto. Not like a whole 12-month bear market. That's a whole nother level of pain. But I'm talking about when I'm doing a 6-month type of hold. There's going to be times when you're going to try and get shaken out, and it can be beneficial to hold through that, depending, of course, on a coin-by-coin basis, on a trade-by-trade basis, on what's been happening. So as you can see in here, Ethereum, that's the Ethereum that I picked up, the Litecoin that I picked up, the UFO that I picked up, and the rest is in stable coins diversified across Tether, BUSD, DAI, and USDC. And so that's the wrap. Just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you're able to find some value, please help out the channel by liking the video. I'm aiming to be back in another fortnight's time, so until then, let's work together to manage our risk appropriately. Let's be disciplined in our trading, and let's always be looking for an edge. Take care until next time, and thanks for watching the $100,000 to $1 million challenge.